Hello everyone. I am Nick Peterson developed, and this is well, I do weekly streams usually. I'm creator of series Fun Times at Homers, and I usually stream on another platform, but I felt like this Saturday I wanted to stream on YouTube. So yeah, hello everyone from YouTube. Um, and yeah, I hope that you guys will have fun. You people will enjoy this live stream, and I'll be here. Questions are always welcomed. You can say what you want to say, and I'll do my best to answer it. Mm, Let me go to the main screen, because yeah, I feel like I'm about ready to start. Okay. So yes, since this is my first time streaming on YouTube, I may be a little rusty, like about or just inexperienced. So I already apologize if I can be rather slow here with things. Um, so yeah, I hope you all enjoy. This is a stream for you can mostly have like ask questions and whatnot, and I'll be here now for the YouTube audience. Yes. Okay. So we already have one question over here by TSMGM2. They seem to want to know about the update one. Uh, Nick, you working on Homer's one update? Nick, question: does the Fatah one is almost updated? Okay. To answer that question, so yeah, the update has been a while being worked on. Yes, indeed. Uh, Sadly, I am not really open to release date. It's not really a thing yet. But I am working on it actively. Like I'm trying my best to work, taking some small breaks so I don't get burned out too much. But I'm still trying to make some like progress. I even have a teaser I posted yesterday for an upcoming new feature. Character per se. uh, I see that you folks have been having a struggle to figure it out who it is, which I find quite interesting. I guess it makes sense. But I appreciate the guesses and the participation you folks has been doing. It's very nice. Hmm. Um, the update, yes, it has been worked on for a bit now. Mm, and I'm still adding things to it. I want to make sure this update is basically like not exactly like me saying, oh, it's definitely the last one. No, I don't really want to say it that way, but I want to make sure to just make it good enough or just perfect the game to my current standards. So I don't really have to worry about fixing things later. Um, so like that can be quite of a processy thing. I have worked a lot. The cutscenes have been the priority for this. And I really am doing my time. Um, I really am taking my time to. Oh, what? Why? Okay, I just realized that the stream title is that. That was not meant to be that. Huh. Hang on. That's actually weird how that's the title right now. I swear it was a different one. Let me just edit that real quick. Hmm. Um, there we go. Now it's actually what it should be. I don't know why it reverted to that. That was not what it was before. But yeah, now it should actually be proper. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that was actually from a previous stream. One that I it's still on my channel. But that was one stream that I was eating Pringles, and those Pringles were flavored, and it was like a thing. It had like pickle Rick on it. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So yeah, now it's not that anymore. Whoopsies. Anyways, yes, the update is being worked on, and the cutscenes are the main focus. For the well quality improvements and whatnot, but there is many other things being added to the game. Uh, so it's it's being a very lengthy process because first of all, I am a developer that works mostly on my own, if not, yeah, just most like as in I barely get any actual help with my projects because I like going solo. So this means that development can take longer than ones that have full teams working on them, but at least I can be certain that the product will be up to my standards and quality. And I am glad that you all be enjoying what I have been putting out. mm, but yeah, the update is for sure, I'd say, is past halfway done. Like for sure, like it's for sure like more closer than being released than it was yeah before, well obviously, but yeah, mm, there still needs quite some work on it, mostly just cutscenes honestly. Those are quite very hard to make, as I've noticed. It makes sense because you have to like do good writing and good storytelling. It's I want to make sure this update will be the definitive version. So I'm really putting a lot of work. And also, hi everyone who has been showing up. Hey, hope you're all having a great day. And if you wanna if you wanna make a question or say how your day is going or just anything, you can just use the chat. I'm trying to read here, and yeah, you're welcome to say what you want. If you have any questions, you feel free to ask them. Okay, I'm gonna continue reading the chat. So yeah, the pickle Rick thing. um, DSMGM2 asked, "Can we collab?" Um, I mean, what's your proposal? Like as in collab? Like, I don't think I know you very much, so I really am not sure about what a collab between us would be like. Mm, okay. Then we have Gummy and Friends. Where's Pickle Rick? Well, for that question, you can go and play Some Nights at Rick's, and that game has a secret Pickle Rick enemy that you can find. Hmm. You can always play that game if you're feeling like playing as something fun. Um, FC Productions asks, who's the returning Homer's character? Um, okay. I'm not gonna say it straight up who it is because this is something I made for the community to basically figure it out. But I do say that by the end of the upcoming week, I'm gonna reveal who it is. I'm not gonna leave it out on the dark. Like, it's gonna be revealed. So don't worry about me not revealing it because I will. It's just for now it's gonna be like more of a fun community guessing thing. I think it would be fun. So yeah, have fun guessing who it is. And I saw some very interesting guesses really. Um for sure. Mm, but it's I like to just have this little interaction with the community now and then. I think it just kind of makes it more interesting. Hi Tobias. Welcome to the live stream. Make yourself comfortable. Um, let's see. Billy is here. They arrived. Um, Billy asked, "Have you made an announcement? Special announcement?" Well, I didn't announce anything right now. I mean, I'm just doing a Q&A stream, really, so people can ask questions and I can answer them. Hmm. So, oh, you spoke a lot faster than usual. What's the occasion? I don't know. I guess sometimes I just speak faster. So, yeah, I'm all caught up with the chat now. Yeah, I may be a little slow to catch up with the chat, but I'll try to be, um, well, answer the most questions as I can. I do say if I do brush by your question, which I'm not entirely sure. Like, I mean, I feel like right now it's very manageable. Like, there's not much chatting in here. But, yeah, if I ever pass by your question, you can always just remind me of your question if I haven't answered it, because I more than likely just, you know, brushed by it without realizing. So, yeah. Mm, uh, Let me check some stuff. I think I'm gonna announce my live stream in the yeah. I would just announce my live stream on other platforms as well, so people can know I am currently streaming. I may be a little quiet, but I'm here. I'm just gonna be making a post about this. Mm, and yeah, how you all doing, chat? Like, is that you guys having a nice weekend? Oh, hi, Lenny. Hmm, that's interesting. It didn't allow you to comment. Hmm, yeah. Um, Also for this stream, I'm not gonna be showing the chat here, like display the chat on the screen, because I'm not entirely sure about how YouTube handles like things. And if anyone says anything that could be, well, harmful in any way, then since it's not displayed on my screen, I could just kindly remove the message without appearing on the stream itself. So that's why I don't have the chat displaying. Which, yeah, um, it's all just make sure no one you have to see anything on this main screen. Uh, and yeah, it's pretty much the setup here. Hmm. I feel like next week I'll stream on Twitch again and do something like more group activity ish. But for now, is really just I'm just experimenting really to see how well a live stream on YouTube would go. And yeah, if it goes well, I might consider doing it again in sometime in the future. Right now, I thought that best I could do is streaming once per month over here. Um, if I well, yeah, it depends on how I feel about it. I do note that I want to be more. cautious with YouTube. I don't wanna do anything that, on Twitch for sure. Like I feel like they're more freeing with, well, it's just different. The rules are different. Hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna announce this stream. All right. And yeah, again, um, I've noticed that there has been quite some questions about homers and whatnot, and I'm here to answer. Mm. Uh, Streaming once a month is kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a interesting experiment. If it goes well, it goes well. All right, let me just make this post. Uh, Let me just uh, let me see. How do I? Oh, hmm. Seems like whatever you said, it got retracted. Okay, let's see. Another question by FC Productions. Since Homer's 3 max power time music isn't in, does that mean Homer's 1 remove its max power time music for update 3? Um, so, no, it will not be removed because I don't really want to remove it, honestly. I think that each game has its own theme, and Homer's Street theme does not fit with max mode music, if I'm being honest. Homer's 1 is more goofy, and so is Homer's 2. Homer's 3 is trying to be a little bit more serious, so I think a goofy little max mode music would not really suit it. After all, there's many things you have to do to have a theme for a game, so I want to make sure that the theme is met, and Homer's 1 is not gonna have removals for update 3. I'm only really adding things. As far as I am aware, there has been anything that was removed. So don't worry about me removing things. Update 3 is not gonna remove anything. um, let's see. Sparta asks, well, sup Nick, how is it going so far? I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. And then how are you doing? Um, uh, okay, what the Edge asks, this is more a personal question. Besides your current projects, is there anything you've seen recently that interests you? Um, well, I did have some new interests. I guess like while ago, I got into a thing, those little things. It's called Chikawa. It's quite they're quite fun little creatures. There's there's Chikawa, there's Heartware, there's Usachi, there's many fun characters and they're all very cute and they speak very cute and I like them very much. My motherly instincts activate every time I see them and I want to protect them. Yeah, if you people like wholesome stuff, I recommend just kind of looking for it a little bit. It's yeah, it's very wholesome. I like it. Also, I got into, well, Freak Bears, which is a new game that released. It's a pretty good game actually. Like I like the idea of it, and I like how they executed it. It's, actually a very good game. And I'm speaking as someone who haven't been really into fan games or FNAF itself, really. Mm, so actually enjoying a FNAF game is very rare for me. Hmm. So yeah, that's another thing that had been quite got my interest. Um, stream you new to more. Hmm. Ah, I'm glad you're doing good, Sparta. Lenny is asking, but first I have a question, Nick. Do you still add fan videos in the playlist? Yes, I will add fan videos in my playlist as I have a little playlist on my channel for fan animations. And if you ever have a fan animation, you can always link me to it and I can not only watch it, but I can add it to the playlist so people can have easy access to Thomer's fan content. And if I don't add your video, that probably means I haven't seen it yet. Um, so yeah, if you have a fan animation that you think I'd like, or you just made, you can always make sure to send them to me, and I can always, yeah, add it to the playlist, and even watch it myself. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I've noticed that Freak Bears had a big focus on modding, and this is an interesting area to go in Find It at Freddy's stuff. I do say some people have been going to my Homers page and asking me to straight up just post the game, like the actual game file and such, so they can just edit whatever. I think that's a little extreme though, compared to like modding. And I think when a game allows modding is nice. Like it's. I think that modding games having like a little mod support, like a folder that has modified files and you just have to keep it on the same folder as the game or something, it's something. But when you have to release, like when you literally release the actual like application thing and people can just edit whatever and put the download link, that's way more dangerous, as people can just actually edit things. Hmm. uh Okay, Lenny is asking, what did you think about my Rise of Suitcage reanimated? I think I recalled it from a while ago actually. I think I found it fine. Like it was quite interesting to see like a animated version of it. Yeah. Hmm. You did, yeah, it was nice to see some fan work. Hmm. Thanks for taking your time though to make this fun stuff. Hmm. Mm, let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. That's the link to the actual stream. I've been kind of trying to find that, but hmm, yeah, there we go. Mm, all right. All right. Let's see. Um, Billy's asking, would Homer Stew update you? Be a rework or a quality of life update? Mm, I mean, all updates are basically quality of life, which has reworks. So, I always do both. Reworking things that didn't work and also being just a general quality of life. So, I mean, I guess that you can say it's both because I'm gonna be reworking certain aspects of it and also gonna be, well, adding more quality of life. It will also be dependent on how Homer's 1 update tree performs because some ideas that Homer's 1 update tree is gonna introduce is actually experiments I'm doing, and if it does well, I will try to apply it to the next games. Um, Although I do say that we're far away from a Homer's tree update for sure. I wanna make sure to, if I even wanna tap on Homer's tree, I at least wanna, make Homer's 4 first. I'm not gonna make a Homer's tree update when people have been just getting fad updates for a while. Let me just. Okay, I'm making the posts over here. All right. Let me just get this out of the way. So, uh, all right. I'm just about ready. Like it's just posting now. Hmm. All right. It should be posted in out the silly platforms. Mm-mm. All right. That's great. Let me see how the chat has been doing. Uh, Hi, Mr. Pato. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Billy asks, "What's underneath Nigel's hat?" That is a good question. A question that um probably will be a useful tool for later. Yes. Um, Hello there. Welcome to my stream. Hope you all, yeah, and like as I say, hope you all are having a great day and hope you all are enjoying your weekend. mm, I'm gonna do the little tag here for general news. There we go. It's just Pacho. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to call you by your username for the sillies. Can you please give Victor a backstory? Well, you see, Victor started as a um hmm yeah, Victor started as nothing more than a milk carton, just like the doodle had, and Lucy believed in magic so much that it came to life and became a real boy. And that's how Victor came into the story. It's like Pinocchio, but a milk carton instead of a puppet. Yeah, how's that for a backstory? Raphael XP. Mm-mm. Yeah. Alright. I guess I'll probably doodle for a while, honestly, while well, the only problem here is that I do not have the chat, like the chat pop-up. I probably there is a way to make it show. There's more than likely just a way to have a pop-up for, in fact, oh yeah, there it is, pop-up. There we go. Now I can see you folks. Mm, let me just minimize this though. Can I? Okay. It's gonna be a little bad for me, I guess. No, not too bad, but hmm. Yeah, okay, that's mm, decent enough. Although I wanna make so this will always stand on top though. Hmm. Is there an option for this? Hmm. Huh. Seems like I'm not finding an option to have it like actually stay on top, which is kind of a problem. Hmm. Yeah, I seem to not know how to do this. No. Hmm. 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 Yeah, I seem to not really know um how to manage this pop-up thing. But it's fine. I'll manage. All I have to do is squeeze you guys right there in the corner and then kind of just have paint just kind of like this. There we go. It's decent enough. Um, it seems like we have someone in the chat making a question. Uh, when did you learn how to code in GameMaker? That's a interesting question indeed. It has been actually years ever since I started using GameMaker. Wow, a very long time. Uh, Find Nights at Freddy's was not even a thing when I started. That's how long it has been. Mm, huh. I don't remember exactly when I started actually making games though. Mm, Well, if it was before Five Nights at Freddy's, well, actually, yeah, hmm, I do remember it must have been somewhere like in 2014 for be before FNAF. Hmm. So yeah, it was around 2014, I'd say. And yeah, I basically really like Super Smash Brothers. That was a game I was a fanatic for. That was my Five Nights at Freddy's back then. And I really liked the game and I wanted to see specific characters for it. My dream roster always been Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man, and Crash Bandicoot. That always been the characters I've been wanting on a roster for Smash. Hmm. Um, Smash Ultimate almost had that, but they missed one, of course. Um, and there was a Smash fan game that actually had those four characters. I actually was there when they announced both Pac-Man and Crash. I was so excited. I remember, like I finally got to see the roster I always wanted. Hmm. After I played the game, I don't know. Once I finally had what I wanted, I started to realize how I didn't really care for it that much. That was kind of sad. It was such like a big thing for me, and yeah. But anyways, after that, I actually wanted to make my own game and have my own roster as well. Or it was during it, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to make my own Smash game, and I basically searched up on the internet like how to make games, and then Game Maker popped up, and I was like, that sounds like a program that's gonna make games. So that's what I got. I got Game Maker, and then from there I started making Smash Brothers fan games, which none of them really came anything near to actually have a page or anything. Uh, Usually I started with adding Luigi as a playable character. He was a real team here. Mm, it was fun. Oh, Alex Pickman asks, does Homer's 2 quality of life update comes out after Homer's 1 update 3? Yes, Alex, it does. That's like the plan right now. I want to release Homer's 1 update at one point in the future, and then I want to update Homer's 2 as well. So those two games will be more updated with my current standard and skills on storytelling. I think this is really good and important for whenever I make a Homer's 4 because, well, Homer's 4 is gonna continue the story. So if Homer's 1 and 2 does a bad job at explaining the story, then Homer's 4 would really have a hard time explaining while continuing the story. So yeah, uh, can Pacho asks, can you draw us a timeline of your projects? Mm, that's the problem, right? I have so many projects that I wouldn't be really capable of to make an actual timeline. I actually have so many, and a lot of them are actually lost media straight up. I do not have access to my older games because I do not have access to my original laptop I made them on, which is sad, honestly. My very first game is straight up lost media because I do not have access to my laptop. Mm. It really sucks, I do say. Hmm. But yeah. Uh. Okay. So yeah, Smash Brothers fan games. Yeah, I was making them and such. I kind of gave up on them after a while. I think it was around that era where Crash and mm, yeah, Crash and Pac-Man got added to Smash Crusade, which is that one fan game. I kind of just lost interest in Smash Brothers after finally getting what I've been craving. You know, the itch has finally been registered, and yeah, and then of course I saw Five Nights at Freddy's. Hmm. I remember like the first thing I saw about FNAF was the Nightmare Freddy teaser, and I recall I found that teaser so cool. Like, you know, the character design looks so interesting and amazing to me. Like it was actually I liked it a lot. I liked the nightmares. Hmm. And so that's when I started to actually get into Five Nights at Freddy's. Hmm. Uh, and then I made some Five Nights at Freddy's fan games that as always, I never finished. They were just little fun things. um, and then, well, I started making that Five Nights at Sonic's World project. And the rest is history, I guess. That's basically how I learned to make well, and I guess that and I guess the how I learn how to code more straight to point. I just learned from YouTube alone. I would just go to YouTube and watch some tutorial on how to do something, and then I would just replicate it, and that's it. That was my experience. I didn't went to like any sort of school or anything. I just, you know, the internet has basically everything you need. You just have to know how to search. Uh, oh, no original Lucy. What do you mean, Billy? No original Lucy. I yeah. Which also followed by a question: what are the Homer's hoaxes you know of? I don't know if Homers have hoaxes. They have fan characters, but not hoaxes. Hmm. I think that a game has to be way bigger than that to have anything close to a hoax. I don't know. I just remember there were like a overwhelming amount of fan characters, but that's really it. Also, since I'm more active with my community, I can be way faster to speak up about a character who is starting to pass by a hoax. So the hoax never really has a chance to really thrive. So yeah. Mm. The reason that FNAF hoaxes went far is because Scott didn't really point them out. Also, hi, Justine Pagwaga. That yeah. Hello. Glad to see another fan. Always happy to see the community and how it's growing, and always nice to see you all. Hmm. Hope you have a nice day, though. Hmm. Um. You can, yeah. Hmm. I'm gonna try. Me just. Hmm. Let me see here. I'm gonna go to Rainbow Road, and this cool. I also gonna remove this. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the chat stuff here for this stream because it's not gonna be used. So you guys can see more the little background. Tee. Mm. Mm. Hmm. There we go. Oh, but it yeah, kind of cuts off. Never mind. I'm gonna keep it. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. There we are. MS Paint. Our favorite tool for tooling. Hmm. Billy says, after all your Fata projects are done, will there be any spin-offs for any specific characters besides Toast a la Toast? I have no plans for that. I'm gonna say that mm, I I just don't really have plans for Homers outside of you know the parodying the Scott games. After all, Homers is just a game. I cannot even get much out of it. Like, it's still using copyrighted characters and whatnot. It's quite limited what I can do with the series. So I don't want to waste my creativity making spin-offs of something I cannot even, like, promote it properly. Like, imagine I make like a project with a lot of creativity and everything, and then when I upload this project, it just gets a cease and desist letter. It's like it's kind of a lose-lose situation. Uh, so like Homer's spin-offs, they would only be a thing if Scott himself has done it. So there can be a Homer's in space, like Freddy in space. That is a possibility. Uh, but yeah, if Scott didn't make the game, it's likely Homer's not gonna have a version of that, which sadly means no Fredbear game of Homer's. Yeah, we're not getting a Homer Fredbear game. We're not getting Fun Times at Homer's 5, the first chapter, where Ghost Abe is the only character. Um, yeah, Prime Ghost Abe, the character who just roams around the building for like 5 nights, and only him. Hmm. Yeah. Fata 57. I know another two numbers that are very funny when you put them together. Oh, hmm, the secret. Yeah. I mean, I do have plans for a Secret of the Mimic sort of game. Uh, yeah, it's quite just a little thing. It's just that, at that point, it will be far, far in the future, like very far. It's really like, yeah, I have some designs done for it even. Like, it comes to no surprise at this point that I design things early. Hello, Nicholas Co Gamer. Yes, you can ask questions about my OCs. Those questions are in fact welcomed. So we will have you to develop Fatah before we get Fatah 5. Um, Homer's World is a possibility, yes. And yeah, I guess Homer's 5 would be a sister location. I'm basically following the same route as Scott did, so yeah, I feel like a world game would come out before a sister location one. Hmm. Wow, someone just exploded in chat, like as in they literally exploded. That's crazy. Hmm. Yeah. So it I actually am quite excited about the idea of making Homer versions of games. People say like, like, some FNAF games are bad. You shouldn't really do them. Like, and I go like, it actually makes more sense for me to parody the ones that are not as good, so I can, make them better. Because yeah, that's why I make Homers to start with. I improve aspects of the game that I didn't like. So yeah, might as well just improve. Uh, I Yes, Pacho is right. I do want to skip Help Wanted. I would more rather use aspects of Help Wanted in my games rather than just straight up make a Help Wanted. It just kind of, you know, uh, if I'm being honest, I feel like Help Wanted would be more like something I would greenlight for someone else to make rather than myself because it doesn't really have much to it besides VR. So I guess that if someone has actual skill to make a help wanted game, then I could give them the green light and I could even provide with help and such. But yeah. Um Also, I can make a help wanted. Like I can totally do it. It's just that I don't think it will be worth of my time when I already have the main projects which has story and such. A help wanted project wouldn't have much story, I believe, because it's just a recollection of previous events and meh. Yeah, it feels more like a spin-off. So a spin-off that has way too much effort. Nicholas Co Gamer asks, "My question is about Gracie. Why does she look like that?" Well, you see, Gracie is was the character I've designed to go along with my new persona as I have transition, and so I made a avatar that looks and is a female, and that's why Gracie looks like that. She is in fact a female avatar, and also her eyes and such are based around the little silly little creature, the Yuppie creature. Yeah, her eyes are literally like that. Hmm. Let me just zoom in. Yeah, Pomini was, I would say, like a somewhat of an inspiration, but not exactly the one in the show, but more so how she got portrayed by being just like this one character who is just sort of just existing as a single-celled organism. I kind of really like that. Gracie kind of takes some of that aspect. Yeah, those big old eyes. Yeah, and then you can just have this right here. No, hang on. I forgot how the Yippie creature was even drawn to start with. Oh my god. There we go. This is the Yippie creature or something. There she is. Yeah, why does she look like that? What is her problem? Mm-mm. Yeah, the the creature. Imagine once a year we have to turn Gracie pink. Yeah, there's the rare pink variant, but only Twitch members know that. Daydreaming. Yeah. Our brains are shrinking. What type of software do you use to 2D animate? You're looking at it. This is a very useful software. Do you wanna make me turn her evil? Do you wanna see this become evil and just messed up in so many levels? Here. Oh my god, it's full of rage now. Yeah. You know what? I kinda really wanna add the hair. There we go. The little hair over here. It's important for her character. Hello, Julian. Hey, welcome to the stream. Right now, I'm just kind of messing around with doodles. But you can always ask questions if you have them. Um, and yeah, this is a stream where mostly I'm answering questions. And if you have any, feel free to ask them. On the meantime, I'm just gonna just doodle really. Let me just there we go. Propeller hat. Mm-mm. Evil. William Gamer asks, "Hey Nick Person, what was your idea? How to do the spring lock scene with Suitcage, aka Sideshow Bob, and the Endo?" Oh, where that idea sort of spurred? Honestly, it just kind of it's a thing sort of been thinking about doing really, where um hmm I just wanted to do something that was a little bit more than the Springlock scene from Five Nights at Freddy's, but I didn't want to have it be like just Sideshow Bob jumps into suit and Sideshow Bob gets springlocked. Like I just eh, people expect that. I want to just make my game surprising. Of course, not like full on edgy. Just, I want to surprise people. I want people to have emotions towards what's happening. And so well, I go further and, do these things. I plan those things and they end up being quite different from what people are used. Um, yeah, I do say this is a major reason why my projects can take longer to be made because pretty much, um, pretty much, a lot of the time I actually spend planning my games, like the story of it and making sure everything makes sense and it has like a nice everything. So like, when you people think I'm just there, like, just kind of messing around and existing, I'm actually just actively thinking about how I can make the story more interesting and, engaging and everything. That's a major aspect of what I do. I really like storytelling. Mm-mm. Um, let's see. All right. At least wait. Oh, is there an ad problem here? Hmm. Yeah, that's really not good. I guess I'll see what's up soon if it keeps happening. I just don't usually stream on YouTube, so like, yeah, I have a question. Julian has a question. I have question. When we expect Fun Time at Homers 4 and follow up, will they be nightmare or different style? Okay, so what I'll say is that I cannot answer that question because it's a spoiler, of course. I cannot just give you the answer of what the game is gonna be because else, I'd be just telling it. And I do wanna have some sort of room for mystery and speculation, which I think is fun. I like when people speculate what things are gonna be about. Mm, Yeah, but Homer's 4 is happening. Like that's what I want to say. Like at one point, it will happen. Hmm. Just speculations are welcomed, but it's pretty much planned what's gonna be about. So yeah, maybe you can guess something and you can guess right, and then you can brag about it. Hmm. Nicholas Kogamer asks, "Don't you think Toast Guy looks a bit like Mario? It may be crazy what I'm about to say, but Toast Guy was originally supposed to be a Mario-looking OC. Uh, and he was supposed to actually look like, well, Luigi actually. If you look at his original design's mustache, you can actually see that he is more Luigi-like. He often gets mistaken as Mario, but I've noticed that it's pretty much because um the characters are those guys' design is made on the style of the adventures from Final Fantasy Sonic's world. And yeah, that caused those guys to look too chibi like to look like Luigi. But yeah, those guy used to look more like Mario, but in more recent times, he got a redesign and his team changed a lot. Well, not changing too much who he is, of course, but he is now different enough to not be just a copyrightable character. Those guy now is not the plumber or anything. He is a nutcracker. And well, any sort of similarities to Mario is just coincidental now because, his team has been changed and his design has been modified where he does not have the Mario aspects are not that strong on him. Uh yeah. Julian asks, I have question. Oh, never mind. That's. Oh, did they? Oh no, no, yeah, that's the same question I read before. All right, let me continue. He, Hilo's games. Um, well, how is everything going? Well, I'm doing decently well today. I'm just sort of hanging out here with the chat, and hope you are doing well as well. Billy asks, will there be a Fatah 4 Halloween edition? I do wanna do one. I mean, like I said, I wanna parody most of Scott's games. So, like, yeah, Halloween edition is one of them, obviously. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, of course. First, we need to actually get to Homer's 4. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that answers out the questions after that. Which, yeah, Homer's 4, it is confirmed, just not certain. Well, not not that it's not certain. It's just that I want to update Homer's 1 and 2, which, like I said, I want. The reason that I want to update the first two games is to change the story. Um, well, not change the story, but improve how it's told. Homer's always had a story, but I admit that I was very bad at actually telling that story. I often would make it very vague and not full on tell what's up. And that was bad because people could not guess what was up. And yeah, that led to games like Homer's 3 having to actually overcompensate, well, not well, compensate how Homer's 1 and 2 did not have much storytelling. It did have a story, it's just that, uh yeah, and I want to update the first two games to actually have a more decent storytelling so a Homer's 4 could carry on from that story that's already being told. That's why the updates are being made, and that's why the updates are taking a while actually, because I'm doing my best to explain the story in a satisfying way. Because yeah, storytelling is something I always wanted to do. It's I think is a good aspect of a game like Five Nights at Freddy's. Uh, Julian asks, I have question. How did you make Suitcage? That's a fun one. Suitcage. He really just kind of happened, really. I I'm gonna be honest. Suitcage is one of those designs that just naturally came to me. I saw like there was this one design of Mr. Burns, like Suitcage suit is actually a reference. I recall that Mr. Burns appears with this suit in a Simpsons clip. I think that is the one that Mr. Burns and Smithers are like dancing around the power plant, and yeah, they're like dancing around the power plant and such. Uh, and yeah, he has that suit. And there's another one where Mr. Burns is also um in an well, a cinema ad. Hmm. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, it's right over here. Did I grab the correct picture? There it is. Yeah, Suitcage's design is actually based on this. And then there's also this one. But the main. Okay, so basically, Suitcage's design is a mixture of this design and this design. Yeah, and then we have the leftover. Yeah, so you see, I took the so details I took is that I took the hair, I mean the hat, but I flipped the colors because okay, but the hat is more for the well, not Springtrap version, of course. Yeah, I swapped around the colors. Also, the use of a bow tie is from this guy over here. In the the actual Suitcage, he has a bow tie, not a tie. The clothes itself, the pants and the shirt is yeah, basically what Suitcage use. Yeah, and that's basically Suitcage. He is it's kind of funny how people don't catch on those references. Some people even have accused me of not paying respect to the source. But then I'm over here like, if you don't catch the references, it's because you don't know the show yourself. Because, yeah, it's right over here. Suitcage's design. So yeah, this is the main idea for, or worse, more so, what started his design, and then I made him look Springtrap-ish, of course, and yeah, it just kind of looked good, and then yeah, let's see, question. But when Sideshow Bob came in Homer's tree, was that also how he was created? I don't think I understood that question very well, Julian. I'm sorry. What do you mean by that exactly? Hmm. Uh, okay. See, what would Nigel look like before Lucy were born? I don't know. Oh, basically, cause in the good ending, we saw Sideshow Bob got stuffed into the suit like Springtrap. Yeah, that is a thing. I mean, yeah. Well, not really stuffed, more like just brutally, um, well, yeah, brutally injured by the endoskeleton. He really did not really, yeah, he really did not suffer from being in the suit itself. The endo did that part. Hmm. Um, but I don't think that Suitcage came to existence because of the Springlock scene. I mean, story-wise, yeah, it is when Suitcage, became Suitcage, but his design has been done for a while. In fact, I recall I made Suitcage design during Homer's 1 development. Yeah, it was either during Homer's 1 development or Homer's 2 development. I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, the design was done for a while. Mm, yeah, I always like to plan things ahead, so when I actually get to make the game, I actually have everything, already planned out and I can make a solid experience for everyone. If I plan things on the get-go, like, I finish Homer's 3 and I start actually starting to plan Homer's 4, then the game is more likely it will not be good because I'll be like rushing it, like planning and making the game at the same time is not very good, as it will make the final product more unstable and uncertain and unpolished. um, how cool will the Fatah 4 teasers be? Um, Pretty cool, like very, very cool. Yeah, they're gonna be very cool, like Final Fantasy Freddy's 4 teasers. Hmm. Yeah, but here we have it. Suit the cage. Let me just paste Suit Cage over here as a extra comparison. Hmm. 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 Where is the? Oh, there it is. Well, I guess that Suitcage in the game is more resembling of this one because the features from this design kind of just, get ripped off when he becomes Suitcage. Yeah, because he loses the hat and he loses the bow tie, so now he only has this design. Hmm. But yeah, it's pretty much the design here. Oh, I asked because I was a bit confused about who controls Suitcage, if it was Sideshow Bob or Frank Grimes from the episode. Okay, Suitcage. Um, so how Suitcage works is that he works by being controlled of who wants to mostly control him, as in like not okay, who has most like who wants to most do something. Like whoever wants to do an action the most is the one that Suitcage is gonna do. So throughout the entire game, when Grimes enters Suitcage, um, Grimes hatred for Homer speaks louder than Sideshow Bob's need to get out of the location. Therefore, for the most of the game, Frank Grimes is in control because he's urge to, well, get revenge on Homer is, well, more than Sideshow Bob wanting to leave the location. But of course, Sideshow Bob has his moments where he speaks himself. Um, and yeah, and and then those are things like him trying to burst the door open or him trying to convince the characters that they want to leave. That's Sideshow Bob speaking. Meanwhile, Frank, he wants revenge on Homer. He tries to convince the characters to attack Homer and to incapacitate him and stuff like that. So usually you can pick out the tone of voice he's using or just what he's saying as a general hint of who is currently in control. Yeah, but to say basically how it is, the control of whoever is using Suitcage tends to be about more willpower, like who wants to do an action more. They're not fighting for power per se, but it's just how Suitcage works. Um, Nicholas Kogamer. I wasn't specific enough with my questions about Gracie, so I improved the question. Why did you give her curves? I mean, I can't do that. Like, I mean, like, am I not allowed to have a character with that? Because I mean, I just yeah, there's no real there's no like reason besides just me wanting to be like a have a female avatar to represent me. Why else would I like? Am I just not allowed to do that? Mm. I don't know if I really need like a giant reason to have a character like that. I'm a proud trans woman, and I don't, yeah, I literally do not know what to say about this. It's just a woman. I know that a lot of people don't see women a lot in their lives, but that's how that's how a woman looks like. I know it's crazy. Mm-mm. Um, okay, Lenny's asking, um, hey Nick, can you draw Nigel as a villager from Minecraft? Okay. Mm-mm. Yeah, there it is, Nigel in Minecraft, but he's also a villager. Mm, mm. Oh, let's see. There it is. See it now. You haven't made the Mr. Burns suit illustration, so it's not very easy to see the resemblance. Oh yeah, I haven't really shown the fixed version of, well, the non-Suitcage version of Suitcage. Hmm, I guess you guys will have to imagine that one out. Teehee. Also, hello, Smithy. Welcome to chat. Julian asks, Um, uh, huge question from Homer's 1, 2, and 3. Which is your favorite character? But the benefit you have to choose one animatronic from each game. Mm, kind of a hard time. Um, choosing like my favorite of each game. I mean, I guess that Homer's 1, Golden Homer always stood out for me. I like jokey characters. Golden Homer's such a silly little guy. Homer's Stew. Honestly, my favorite has been Old Marge. I just kind of liked how she has like the hands like you know missing, and I just like Withered Foxy designs. They tend to look more hmm I don't know. They just have something to them that I like. They just tend to look more wild. Like how they just stare at you down the hallway and whatnot. Yeah, I like that. And the third Homer's game, I mean, I guess my favorite would be Suitcage because, you know, he's Suitcage. He has a knife on him that he carries around. He is an interesting character. Yeah, I think those are my current, probably favorite ones from each game, but I tend to flip flop. Also, hello there, um, Terumiel. Welcome to the stream, everyone who's joining. Um, hmm. Yeah, I see. Um, damn. Hmm. Let me scroll here. Um, okay, so for this stream, Raphael, we're not gonna be playing Minecraft because first of all, um, I think that YouTube is, I don't know, I wouldn't wanna like have people on a public, well, not really public server, but like yeah, in a server being able to build anything that will be on my screen, and as much as I don't, as much as I like playing Minecraft. I'd save that stuff for the Twitch streams because I am really not comfortable showing, like having that much freedom of what people can put on my screen on YouTube. So I'll avoid a Minecraft stream this Saturday, but next Saturday I will definitely stream on Twitch. So then we can have fun there on Minecraft. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just today really that we're gonna be streaming on YouTube. I just wanted to have more access to people and such. Not everyone has a Twitch account after all. It's kind of sad, but yeah. Oh yeah. Huh. Crust trap. There were so many spring trap gases, and I like it was actually like something that killed me inside a little. Like, Maggie trap, Krusty trap, Duffman trap, straight up people self-inserting as Springtrap characters. Skinner trap, Smithers trap, Burns trap. In the end, it was like not even. I mean, it was Mr. Burns, but the name was not even like name trap. It was Suitcage, which I find very funny how it like people are just so generic that in the end they end up being wrong because I actually don't go the route of just literally one to one with an F. Eh, mm. Yeah, I don't usually change my streams midway. Yeah, like if it is a yeah. Do rat souls exists? Billy asks. Hmm, maybe. He looks funny. Mark Castle. Hello, Mark Castle. Um, hello. Um, yeah. Remember, old Marge's jump scare is only inappropriate if you yourself have seen things that are inappropriate. So you're basically self-exposing by calling it out. Why your favorite character not post night one? Why your favorite character not post night one? God. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, God is in Fun Times at Homer's. He is such a cool character. Wake up. So we meet again, Homer. Homer 4. I love Homer 4. I am little Timmy. I I just crave that 4. Wait a second. There are one, two, three, four drawings. Therefore, it must be a 4. 4 entry. Homer. Shall fuel our beliefs with diet soda. and play Burnout Revenge on the PS2. I don't even know what that game is, but I like the PS2. I like that you added more characters that can, well, get you in Homer's tree. I didn't think about it at the time, but it's a good direction. I don't know what else to say. I see. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I do not mind Five Nights at Freddy's 3 only having Springtrap. I think Springtrap earned that role because he is the main bad guy, supposedly the main bad guy of the series. Um, so like, you know, we're facing the main bad guy here, so why not give him the full spotlight? I do think Springtrap had a problem that he mostly relied on the fact that your reboot panel took a century only to reboot like a single item in the reboot panel. That was really like not a thing I liked. It doesn't feel like you're being like actually. It doesn't feel like skill based. It feels like you're just have to wait. It just really that is my problem. How slow it is. Like to you're not being immersed or anything. You're just there with the panel going blue, blue, blue. Brr. It's like, come on. Hmm. Um. Yeah. Well, Springtrap's intelligence is very yeah. Like, mm, I don't know like how I would even describe his intelligence. He is able to be exploited, I guess, but at the same time, is like I feel like the gameplay being sluggish is his best weapon because yeah, like in the end, he's just so like reliant on the reboot panel and things, being just slow that ends up being his difficulty. If you actually had like faster time for like closing the vent or rebooting the panels, I'm pretty sure Springtrap would have been a very pathetic enemy, which sucks. Hmm. So Homer Street fixed that by having Suitcage. Well, Suitcage is pretty active around the building, but people don't register that they also have the same amount of power-ups as Suitcage did. Vents can be closed instantly almost, and even though they take a bit, Suitcage cannot actually make progress through the vent if you have the vent cameras open. He straight up cannot do it. So the moment you spot him in the vents, he just cannot kill you anymore unless you forget to close the vent. Like once you see him there, you got him, you know. And also you can spam the audio lure, which of course can also be a risky thing because Suitcage also can randomly move as you press the audio. Like yeah, Suitcage can be very agitated by the audio being spammed, so that's not a good thing to do. Uh, but yeah, it's mm, I tried my best to fix the game out and make everything just feel faster, but also well, change the slowness of the game with actual skill based sort of mechanics and reactions and whatnot. And of course, if Suitcage was not bad enough that makes people straight up quit the game at night too, honestly, Suitcage is hard, but he's not impossible at any means. He just requires you to actually understand him. Once you understand how Suitcage works, you definitely will not be facing much problems with him after that. Um, so yeah, we also have the other enemies as well. They are just there to enhance Suitcage really and kind of like complement his mechanic in a way. They are not really main threats. Um, yeah. Suitcage is the main one. Meanwhile, everyone else is just an assist. All right. What happened to the couch kidnapper gang after Homer's Stew? I guess nothing really. Like, if they haven't been shown during Homer's Tree, it means that nothing really happened that's important enough to be registered. They just took the couch and that was really it. There's no progress on that story during Homer's Tree. It just the couch is just in hell during Homer's Tree, and yeah, nothing really happens. Hmm. Um. Okay. Pacho asks, why do the Homer's Tree crew gets fooled by random ass squeaks? Uh. Well, I just thought it would be funny if they followed the squeaky sound. Like they're just hearing sounds and they're like, "Ooh, squeaky," and they follow it. Hmm. Also, what do you mean? Oh, it's so obvious. I mean, I don't like when I answer that is because it's already been stated in the game. Hmm. It, like it, I don't just say that for things that are random. Like I mean, yeah, the squeaky thing never really been stated in the game, so I would not drop something like that. I'm not gonna be a jerk, like just say stuff like that. Mm-mm. I only say stuff like that when people are just saying things that are actually in the game it is and it only got missed due to lack of attention being paid. And yeah, like they follow the squeaky sound or react to it just because, you know, it's a sound. Mm. I mean, I don't think that you, Patri, specifically had me calling you out like that. Maybe have been other people, honestly. I haven't been too active in the Homers community lately. I kind of been using it, but I don't think I've been calling you out specifically for getting things wrong or whatever. Hmm. I mean, there was that one thing in the chat that you and Billy were talking about Nigel and their children's being illegitimate. That one I had to call you guys out like at least check if it was a joke or not because if it was serious I was gonna be like what the heck? Where did that come from? I mean, as a joke, it's fine. I was just like genuinely wondering if you guys were actually like making a serious theory here. Well, there. Hmm. But yeah, the squeaky thing does not have like a um. Yeah, the squeaky thing is not something you have to overthink about. It's just a squeaky sound. Squeaky follows squeaky, gets scared by squeaky, and yeah, there sometimes things don't need an in-depth explanation. They hear sound, they follow sound. Yeah. uh. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, I just come. I guess it just comes from me not being active in the community a lot. So when I see those things, I sometimes cannot catch it if it's like a joke or not. I think, but yeah, that's why I ask. Hmm. But I'm not gonna be like actually a jerk about it. I'm not really that kind of person who would just like someone who is actively trying to figure out the story or whatnot, like genuinely trying. I wouldn't just go to them and just say like, "Oh, that's so obvious. I'm not even gonna explain it to you." I can notice when someone haven't been even paying attention, like skipping the cutscenes. Like I know when that happens and I do call them out for it. Like some people go like, "Oh, why do you even play as Homer in the third game?" Or "Why is Suitcage?" Why is Sideshow Bob in Suitcage? That never gets explained. Like, I mean, obviously those things are like because they didn't watch the cutscenes. Hmm. Can we invade or conquer land in toast a la toast, perhaps? Conquer. Yes, we will conquer land, Smithers, in this toastland. Get in the plane. Yeah, the little wooden toy plane from that one episode. Huh. How famous is the Simpsons family for Nigel to build a restaurant after them? I'm not gonna say this specifically, but I do say that the update tree is gonna state a little bit more clear of what's up. I do like say that, yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah. So I don't want to answer this just because the update's gonna come out at one point, and yeah, the update pretty much will say like what's up with that and how popular they are. Um, I'm mostly not gonna say because I don't want to review it by me saying it. I want to see like how much I did well with the dialogue, because if the dialogue is enough for you to understand that, I can have a clear notion that I did a good storytelling. But if when it's out you still are confused, then I probably need to think further about how I write things. Why does Suitcage hate have beef with me? I've told it be a good boy. You stole my lollipop one too many times. Lenny, you're not a good boy. You will be a bad boy forever. And you'll never be a good boy ever again. Yeah, I think Suitcage said it all. Name a good Simpsons game other than the Simpsons game. Yeah, I said it. The Simpsons game. That is, in fact, even something I even prefer over Simpsons Hit and Run because I just really like how much it has. Uh, yeah, it has nice dialogue. It has fun little power ups that the characters have. And you know, it's very fun. I like it. In fact, it's one of my favorite games of all time. How about for the fifth game would be like Find It at Sonic's 5, the first chapter. You know, this is a thing I have noticed when it comes to Homers and its community. People had been wanting me to make Fun Times at Homers actually be like FNAS. Like that's something I never really understood. Like Homers is clearly a parody of Five Nights at Freddy's, yet I get a lot of comments asking me to make it about Five Nights at Sonic's actually. Like people being asking me about adding Wither toys, and people ask me, well, just now about making a fifth game that's themed around, well, the Five Nights at Sonic's 5, the first chapter, which always puzzled me. Like Commerce is a game that is hand drawn, but that doesn't mean it has to follow the route of Find It at Sonic's. I never really understood that very much. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm angry at anyone for predicting that way, but I just never really understood like with that mindset. Uh, and yeah, like I don't mean anything hateful by it. I mean, I'm not gonna follow the Find It at Sonic's route. I mean, I don't really see why. Like, you know, I'm making Five Nights at Freddy's parody after all. And as far as we know, there are no Fredbear games. So, yeah, sadly, a Fredbear game out of Homer will have to wait. And not just that, but I think that Fredbear games are oversaturated. We were talking in like a different server the other day about how oversaturated Fredbear games are. Hmm. Yeah, people will not know about the Lenny and Suitcage beef. What was Sideshow Bob motive for attacking the school bullies? Were they crusty fans like Bart or something else? That's kind of funny because, you know, the idea that Sideshow Bob actually attacked the school bullies is more of a theory and a speculation. In the Homer series, it was never confirmed it was in fact Sideshow Bob. I mean, it could have, but I don't remember adding any implications that he was the one, in fact, unless you're going off by the idea that Homer's is a one-to-one to Five Nights at Freddy's. Hmm. I'm not saying that he's not the one that does it, but at the same time, uh, it was never implied he was. So I'm just gonna leave your question with my own statement that it could go many different places. So like, yeah, Homer's tree needs one more before 5,000. That's cool. Who else? You see, there has been a character we haven't been really registering about this whole ordeal of Homer's lore. Um, a character such as Purple Homer Simpson. You see, Purple Homer Simpson is a character that is Homer Simpson, but he's also purple because he's Purple Homer Simpson. And, well, Purple Homer Simpson, he did not really like the school bullies very much because they bullied him because he's Purple Homer Simpson. And so, out of a fit of rage, Purple Homer Simpson, well, he does a Five Nights at Freddy's, the man behind the laughter. And so he have done the Purple Man thing. Oh, the fact that you sacrificed a few Simpsons characters for a narrative. I mean, yeah, I mean that's Five Nights at Freddy's stories. Characters, are ghosts and whatnot. So why? I mean, if I made so no one actually was, possessing the robots, then yeah. Oh, oh. So Homer's tree page reached 5,000. Let me take a look. Oh hey, almost 2 hours of stream. That's pretty nice. Hope you all having been fun with this stream. Like, I'm here just answering questions and hanging out and whatnot. But yeah, I enjoy it. Hmm. Well, yeah, there it is. Homer's tree has 5K. Hmm. That's nice. Happy 5K, Homer's tree. Hmm. Very joyous moment. That sounds a bit bizarre. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna replace the 4 with a 5K. Follows 5K. Follows. Yay. They're all partying together to show stage. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. Oh, so wholesome. Hmm. The art of Suitcage is hurting me. Patatri's favorite game in series due to a specific character. Uh, hmm. Will there be a spin-off of the main games? Like, I don't know, Five Nights, well, with the Family Guy characters? I don't really see why do that because the Simpsons are already copyright characters, so literally go out of my way to replace the characters with other copyrighted characters is nothing but a waste of time for me. So yeah, you're not gonna see me doing that because I mean, why would I even consider it? And besides, you already have your Five Nights at Family Guys. If you look up on GameJot, Five Nights at Pete's, I think something like that, you'll find a game. So you don't have to ask me for it. You can just go there and see that game if you want the Five Nights at Family Guys. Hmm. Yeah, and always remember, Monkey Paw. Be careful what you ask for. Yeah, there we go. Celebration art for 5K followers. The Suitcage trio. They're all performing for you. Yes, very excellent. Let's sing our suitcages for our 5K follows. Yes, I agree. I hate Lenny. Mm, mm, Peter's game. Um, what do you mean canceled? That game is literally like there's more than one game released. You just didn't find the right one then. Also, it's called Pete's and not Peter's. Hey Nick, it's the Peter singing on stage meme but with Suitcage. Yeah, it is. It is in fact the fact. Oh yeah, it is still here. Bro, why does she look like that? Hee hee. I can make her happy. See? But she's not allowed to be happy. She must always have this face. There's three games. The third is a demo. Yeah, that's what I recall. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, how much? Okay. Also, I know it's very sad news for you folks from Twitch, but since we are on YouTube, I don't think we are allowed to have the Homer's National Anthem play. So I'm very sorry for you guys who actually um, require your weekly Homer's Anthem, as it's not gonna happen this week because we are on YouTube. Yeah, I feel like YouTube would not like that very much. It would be too funny. Yeah, although next week we're gonna have it on when I stream on Twitch again. um, I want my Hummers, eat them. Calm down, boss. We're gonna have it next week. But I want it now. I need my Homer ate them Saturday. No, it cannot be. No. Hmm. Indeed, I know how we are on our little special little what is um culture, yeah, or a special little culture here. But yeah, we have to behave ourselves on here. Yeah. Mm-mm. That was just a doodling session. Yeah, that's it. That's the 2 hours. No Hummers ate them. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, yeah, it is nice to just sit around and answer some questions. You know, just kind of, yeah, interact with the community and the chat and answer like the questions. I'm actually impressed how no one's shown here saying like, are you gonna make Hummer's Android? Hummer's 1 Android, Hummer's 2 Android, Hummer's 3 Android. And then just say like something random like 5 nights at Jacob's dad Android. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna be like, what, uh, what the hell? Jacob must find his dad in the new Five Nights at Freddy's experience. Fun times at Hummers, Linux, and Mac. Donald. Hmm. Wow. Catching strays. Build a Hummer statue. Yeah, it would be quite beautiful to have a Homer statue for us to worship as the Atom played. Yeah, it would be wholesome. We need to mark this on a to-do list for the next Minecraft stream. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the game, Nicolas Cogamer. That's the game. You found it. Hooray! Like the golden Wario statue. Yes, Wario. Nick, will you add us on Discord? Billy and the art is Suitcage and Lucy getting revenge. Uh, eh, probably. Lucy Revenge, the game. Hmm. Yeah, it is pretty alright. Hmm. Also, I'm gonna say this, but yes, there is a reason why I'm kind of like slow today again. I kind of have been doing this where I kind of just work a lot on things. So like yeah, in the end when I stream, I am a little like slow. Yesterday night I was actually working on Homer's update on a new feature. In fact, this one you guys have no idea about. um, it's not really a major new feature. It's more just like a fun little thing, really. Uh, I do say that it is like only Patreon supporters knows about it. So yeah, supporters gets to know things first, and if you wanna be a supporter, consider um, yeah, consider what you can do, and if you can't, it's fine as well. But if you can have your benefits, which is access to a special Patreon chat, which you have many news on projects and such that haven't been shown, about like progress on projects and work in progress and early sketches, all that sort of stuff that you haven't really seen in public. You also can get used to see your user on my stream backgrounds. As you can see over here, our users that shows up in my background are Patreon supporters. So if you ever wanna consider supporting me, consider joining my Patreon so you can have like you can show up in my next streams and also have more earlier news on what I'm working on. Hmm. Yeah. Hope you all having. Also, how are you guys' days going? By the way, yeah, you guys all having like a decent weekend, and also people who are joining and whatnot. Like, yeah, you can all just talk and such. Oh, well, it's nice you are no longer sick, Pancho. I know how getting sick is really annoying. Glad you got better from your sickness. Mm-mm. Yeah. Hmm. Uh, Good. Try and gain the muscles. Hmm. Oh, Billy has a cold. That's sad and sucks. Hmm. Hope you get better from the cold soon, Billy. Yeah. Hmm. Makes sense. Sometimes your voice really gets whack when you're cold. Hmm. Yeah, makes sense. That sucks. Hope you get better. Soon. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Uh, let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, yesterday night I was working on something in Homers related. Um, and honestly, I think that after I finish this stream, I'm gonna just probably take a little bit of a break, honestly. And but then I'll go right back at working on this Forsaken update. One day it will come out. That's what I'm saying. And when it comes out, you guys will probably like it, honestly. I would be very sad if people don't like it, but I'm trying to make the definitive version. So out of things people preferred about the well, out the major things people preferred about the old version are coming back, and the things in the current versions are just being well polished. Hmm. Um. Yeah, I think the biggest change here is the mini games. Honestly, things I changed. The mini games, at least the tomato and balloon one, had been redesigned. They still visually look the same, but they play different now, and they're supposed to be more engaging and easy because the current design for them is actually quite hard to play them. You know, they I really did not grasp well how mini games should play like, to be honest. I focused too much on a challenge, and yeah, people didn't like that. I understand though. That's why I experiment. Uh, yeah, the mini games of Homer 1 are completely optional. Like, you do not have to beat them. So, that way I can really be experimental with them. And so now the mini games are gonna be pretty easy. They're focused on being very simple, and I'll see how people enjoy it then. Hmm, who is stronger, New Krusty or Fatachi Krusty under Suitcage's control? I feel like Suitcage under control is more, well, it would basically be more capable. I mean, strength wise, new large crust would be the more strong because when Suitcage has control over him, he is all withered and such. So like by default, the last broken version would be stronger. But since Suitcage has, well, he has the smarts, he would be able to defeat the new large crust even if he's driving a more damaged version of himself. Hello, Nova. Um, Hope you're having a good day over there. Welcome to the stream. Um, I'm just doing like a hangout stream, honestly. I'm answering questions, talking to the community and whatnot. You know, just something I do weekly. I usually stream on Twitch, but today I felt like streaming on YouTube to reach more the audience, I guess. Because not everyone have Twitch accounts. Hmm. Got to go. I've located Suitcage hidden stash of lollipops. Hmm. Who's the most overlooked character in Hummers? Hmm. For a while, Ghost Dave actually filled this role, and it actually made me so sad. Like, no, Ghost Dave was this character who was supposed to be like big in the series, and yeah, Ghost Dave would in the end just people just overlooked him because of the other characters, and it made me sad because he was supposed to be a big deal. Also, yeah, hello, Tamir, Spooky Bro. Welcome to this chat. Hope you're having a great day. Hmm. If any of you have any questions, you can make sure to drop them. And oh, hi, Jab. Fancy seeing you here. And yeah, this is my 5 nights at Suitcages 5K follows special. Also, this is not the show stage. This is the viewing platform. You see, this is my original take on the concept. Viewing platform is the original name for this location in this establishment because that's a platform you get to view. Ask the patrons. Yeah, you need to pay 5K to see this. Indeed, honestly, it's a very fair price to pay for such a show. Um, Nova, why wasn't Quijibo in Homer's tree? Well, that's simply because Quijibo is not a relevant character in the Homer's storyline. Quijibo is just one of the characters who helped to kidnap the couch, and during Homer's tree, Quijibo, Dark Homero, and Old Golden Roma are just back in where they live, which, as demons, they are in hell. So, well, well, Michael, you see, Shadow Bunny is in Five Nights at Freddy's tree. So, like that, yeah. Um, in the final mini game, Shadow Bunny is the one that gives the last cake to the child, and there is also a Shadow Bunny statue in the office, a mini one, yeah. And also on the normal mini games, you have a Shadow Bunny pixel art, yeah. So Shadow Bunny is in Final Fantasy Freddy's tree, but I didn't want to add Quijibo to Homer's tree because she's not relevant. Um, Shadow Bunny is a metaphor. Hmm, fair. Mm, yeah, it kind of sucks that my Shadow Bunny is just not relevant to this story, but I'm gonna be honest that Final Fantasy Freddy's has so many characters that I did have to kind of not add relevant to a few of them, so I can actually work on the ones I have. It sucks, it still does kind of sucks, but at least the ones that are relevant, they are actually gonna have you. Well, they're gonna be utilized. There's just gonna be occasions where certain characters will have less relevancy than others, and some that literally only appears once and never come back. It's how it is with those games, really. Literally do not know what I would do for Quijibo for them to come back. It's not like I'll be like, Quijibo is back from hell, and now Quijibo is withered, because of course, why wouldn't she be withered? And she's stuck in this location, and like that just sounds completely wrong for the story direction. Mm-mm. Um, hmm. Oh, well, I'm flattered to hear that, Tamir. I'm glad you were able to join my stream and say kind words. It's very nice of you. Yeah, very thankful. Mm, yeah. Uh, hmm. Honestly, maybe it has been enough stream time for today. I have been streaming for like 2 hours now. Usually my streams are the least like 2 hours, and I also am very hungry right now. So like yeah, for sure I need to eat something. I haven't eaten anything today. In fact, I guess that explains why I'm hungry. So I guess I'll probably be ending the stream for today, this week. I mean, yeah, and then next Saturday I'll probably stream on. Well, I'll definitely stream on Twitch again. And you people can give it a go. Like if you don't have a Twitch account, you can always consider so you can join me for my streams. I'm gonna be playing Minecraft probably once more, and it's a server that anyone can join if you wanna just, be part of it. Mm, yeah, so like, I think I'll be wrapping things up for now. I feel like that's enough. Well, that's decent. um, yeah. So, does anyone want to say something before I end it off? Hmm. Well, seems like the chat grown quiet. Well, either way, I think I'll be wrapping things up. Mm, yeah. Hope you all have enjoyed yourselves in this stream. Hope I managed to get your questions answered. I'll be around next week as I always stream on Saturdays. Maybe I'll consider streaming on YouTube more often. I don't know. This stream was fine, honestly. It's just that I'm kind of tired from working on the game yesterday, and today I was a little slow. But yeah, it was nice. I'm glad you all enjoyed and joined my stream and talked and whatnot. I appreciate a lot the attention. Um, and yeah, you all take care and have a great rest of your week. And yeah, um, bye bye.